Greetings, 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 my V family all over the world. This is your chief. Welcome to my Insta Live week 32, I believe, or 33. All right, guys. Firstly, let me do my shout outs to everyone. Muhammad Buluche is always there. Rita, Muhammad Join, Anu Mobas, Vishal Jain, Atli Hassan, and Kalai. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Nabin Millionaire 1990. Alright, Sati Senati Raja in the house. Ibn Abbas in the house. Tipa in the house. Alright, how are you guys doing? Hemantini, Sanu Nair, how are you, Apu? Vic 32, thanks, Kalai. Amani Muhammad, Rashafat, Pranil, Pony, how are you, Apu? Zulu, what's up, my brother in Singapore? Ajay, your beard needs a trim. I know that. Alright, but the timing of the trimming of the beard is so complicated since VCon is around the corner, so I'm trying to figure out. Alright, Johnny Nagarat, Bhagya Shri Vijit. Alright, and now right, Babi Al Quafir, the V official, Loreen in the house, Swarna Black Swan, how are you? Nais Ahmad, Dashara Das, ISGM Surya, Vidarin, it's official, Sony, Arnab, Brijesh, I see you, Durgesh, Limar, Lata Pawadi, Tashan, Siamak, how are you, bro? Alright, Yasim Minyazi, Rashafat, Subabai, Harshil, Pavanu, Plavdiya, Nilesh Pratap, Manita Dagar, Samir, Navin Kumar. Alright, Shipra, I think I see you. Yes, Sharfras, 365, Vino, Vicky Ras. What's up? Rek Kumar, Rashayat, Kamna, Jitu, Ajinkya, the bloody Surya, Gaurav Singh, Dr. Rajesh, Farhad, Jamshed, how are you? Shivaji Ratot, alright, T. Sinchi, you're in Dubai, Vix, Binoy Patel, Rashafat, Fahad. Okay, greetings to everyone. Thank you for loyally being on Insta Live with me every Sunday at 8 p.m. Malaysian Standard Time. Firstly, Assalamualaikum to all my Muslim brothers and sisters around the world. Privyet to all my Russian-speaking warriors around the world. Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour to all the French-speaking downlines of Japa and Datu Sri Vijay. Marhaba, salam. Alright, Vigets, Ola, okay, what else? Aiboan, Namaste, Vanakkam, Namaskaram, Sastrikal, alright, apa kabar, Mekalawa, Sin Chow, okay, Ni Hao Ma, good day, mate, Australia, greetings to everyone around the world. This is your chief, ready for Insta. It was unbelievable. Got to spend Datu Sri Vijay just came back from Europe, alright, after a long trip, so I didn't get to meet him face to face. Got to spend a few hours with him just before the weekend. Always grateful. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is for you to be in the zone of your mentor, working upline, whoever you respect, who's guiding you on this journey of financial freedom and the betterment of yourself. Make sure you stay in their zone. Don't make it like Christmas. Only comes once a year. Are you guys with me? Alright, the worst relationship or the worst disrespect you can show an upline, a mentor, somebody who is been dedicated to improving you, is not having the humility to take the effort to be in their zone. Whether it's a phone call, message, face to face if possible. Alright, just be in that person's zone. Be grateful, guys. Okay? Very important. Me and Datu Sri Vijay were just talking, Japa and also were just talking about VCon. It's coming closer and nearer. We are putting the finishing touches. I had a long meeting with Kalai and Sati and everyone else about the program. the opening show, the in-between show, the guest speaker, Japa and Dato Sri Vijay, both super excited. So guys, VCon, 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 VCon. Kunan, I see you, Apu. All right, VCon, 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 VCon. I don't know how to tell you this. All right, if after 25 years, I'm freaking excited about this back-to-back 25th anniversary VCon, especially all of you guys who have not ever been to a VCon. This is like going to Disneyland for the first time. It's a pilgrimage, guys. It's where the magic happens. So find a way anyway, but make sure you are there at VCon. All right. Now this Instagram live I want to talk about something that I've been handling a lot with a lot of you guys. Okay, I'm not only talking about the newbies. Actually, the newbies may not be facing this as much as the ones who have been building for a long time. I think the greatest challenge faced by an upline, faced by a networker, all right. Actually, JR Maya is not online today. Apu, are you online? All right. The biggest challenge faced by a networker, faced by an upline, is the inability to influence or convince their downlines to do what they're supposed to do. Because the funny thing about networking and the funny thing about life, almost everyone knows what they're supposed to do. Everyone knows. All right. You know what you're supposed to do as a networker. You know what you're supposed to do as a husband, wife, father, mother, brother, sister. All right. You know what you're supposed to do as a citizen. You know what you're supposed to do as a freaking human. You know what you're supposed to do as an upline. You know what you're supposed to do as a downline. All right. You know, but for some reason we don't do it. Now I'm trying to figure out why we don't do what we are supposed to do. We know what is bad. We know what is good. Okay, we are not morons. We all went through roughly the same schooling system, the educational program, where we were all told what is good. Do not cheat. Do not lie. Do not steal. All right. Be a good parent. Be a role model to the people around you. But for some reason, we don't. Now, the same way in network marketing, anyone who comes into network marketing, who starts their journey to financial freedom in this unbelievable organization founded by the great ones, Japa and Dato Sri Vijay Ishwaran, you know what you're supposed to do. If you watch the 8 basic building blocks by this gorgeous Malaysian, I forgot his name. If you watch the 8 basic building blocks, all right, you will immediately know what you're supposed to do. All right, okay, you know you're supposed to have your list, your dream, your commitment, your list. All right, how to present and prospect. Okay, how to invite. Okay, you know everything that you are supposed to do to succeed in network marketing. You know the most important thing is presentation. You know that you're supposed to do TAT. All right. You know that rejection is part and parcel of this business. And you know that not all geographical locations are friendly towards network marketing or will embrace network marketing. Therefore, you may have challenges in certain countries, certain regions that don't have a matured infrastructure and legislation, all right, about network marketing. All right. Congratulations to India. Finally, India has a law distinctively recognizing network marketing as a legitimate business, guys. All right. Before this, they never had. So it's challenging to exist in markets where you don't have a law to protect the government, the people, and the network marketing industry. Are you guys with me? So I was thinking a lot. Why do people do not do what they're supposed to do? So today, with my kids, for example, you exactly tell them what to do and they don't do it. Because they have a mind of their own. And they are convinced, all right, of 2 things. Number 1, they're convinced they are right. Your downlines think, why should I listen to this moron upline? I know what I'm doing. What I'm doing is right. Number 2, there is no consequence of not doing what they're doing. So I realized when we were in school, when we were studying, when we were absolutely under the control of our parents with absolute unconditional fear And those from my generation, you know what I'm talking about. All right. We loved our mother, father, and all that stuff, but we were shit scared of them, okay? Because there were consequences. You screwed up. All right. You got the whacking of your life. Now, today, supposedly, parents are not supposed to hit their children, not even supposed to scold their children. Can you imagine? All right. And there's no fear of consequence. You understand? There's no consequence. So the first problem in network marketing is that your downlines think they know better than you. This is a challenge. Or a downline is convinced that there's no need to listen to you. Okay? Now, firstly, don't panic. This is common. Even when I started as a full cup, arrogant, all right, 22-year-old, and I had Dato Sri Vijay as my working upline, okay? But there were many times where I listened to him and said, I already know this. Don't worry. Even before he could finish saying what he was saying, I would already say, don't worry, I know what I'm supposed to do. Leave it to me. Right? Pure arrogance at that time, okay? Today, after he finishes saying what he's saying, I ask questions to clarify and reconfirm that I understood it correctly. That's what an empty cup does, okay? And apply it. So the first thing is that they don't listen because they assume they know better than you. Same with your staff. All right, Kunan, Vicky, Zul, all right, all your corporate friends, they all think they know better than you. All right, simply because somewhere along their way, the ego, the arrogance, their own has started to grow within them. All right. Now, the only thing you can do to correct it is to show by results. All right, because it's far easier to listen to somebody when they demonstrate that they are doing it damn well. So, for example, I'll give you the best example, which I always give Adli and Sati, all right? Like, I'm a sexy guy. I work, I got muscles and all that stuff, okay? And I tell Sati and Adli how to work out. I train them because, they are not young anymore. And I train them, I show them all the moves. Now, imagine if I was 150 kilos, no muscle, not as sexy as I am. And I tell them, guys, do this. Work out this way. Do the push-up this way. Do the sit-up this way. You understand? And they will look at me and say, oh my God, why on earth would I listen to you? You don't look fit. You don't look like you go to the gym. You don't look like you're doing anything you're telling us to do. Right? Because that's how a downline feels. So a downline looks at you and you are giving them the most profound advice to change their life, to raise their checks, to improve themselves, even in the corporate world. They are not going to listen unless they see you and they are convinced you have done it successfully. This is the reality of life. The same way you can't tell your kids, don't watch TV, don't stay glued to your mobile phone if you are glued to the mobile phone. Because they say, why would I listen to you? You're not practicing what you are preaching. All right, you're not walking the talk. And this becomes a difficulty in every upline because you expect your downlines to do what you say. All right? It doesn't work that way. What you say can be totally irrelevant. They can ignore what you say. It's like your kids. You can tell your kids whatever you want. They don't give two hoots. All right? If you tell them to eat healthy and you're eating crap, they're never going to follow. You tell them to stop smoking, but you smoke, they're never going to follow. You say drinking is bad, but you're drunk every weekend, they're never going to follow. You tell them to respect women if you have sons, but you disrespect your wife in their presence, they're never going to follow. All right? So, leadership in any way, before you can teach something, you must practice it. Before you tell people to make a certain sacrifice, you must already make that sacrifice. You understand? All right? I remember a story about, somebody told me a story about Prophet Muhammad, where a mother took a child who was allergic to dates to the Prophet and told the Prophet, please tell him to stop eating dates. because he's allergic to dates, and the boy got sick every time he ate dates, but he loves dates. So the Prophet said, come back after 3 days or 6 days. I hope I remember this correctly. And in 3 to 6 days, the mother brought back the child, and the Prophet told the child, stop eating dates. And the mother asked the Prophet, why didn't you just tell him 3 days ago? And the Prophet looked at the mother and said, because I was still eating dates 3 days ago. I stopped for the last 3 days so I could tell him not to eat. So leadership and example is something that comes from above. You understand? It is the only form of convincing people to do things. You cannot convince people to do things that you have not done successfully and consistently. So somebody today was complaining to me about a group of people he's working with, that they lack sense of urgency, and I was guiding him. And you see, the reason why people don't have a sense of urgency when they listen to you, because maybe they are not convinced you have a sense of urgency, or you have not demonstrated a sense of urgency consistently enough. This is human nature. I'm sorry to say this, but this is how it is. So if you want to effectively mentor your staff or mentor your downlines, whatever you tell them to do, the only way you can say it with the highest form of conviction, like how Dato Sri speaks to me, is by you having to practice it effectively, successfully, and consistently. And that conviction will come out of your voice when you speak to them. I promise you this. You understand? That's the difference when somebody who's successful speaking to you and somebody who wants to be successful but hasn't paid the price to be successful speaking to you. Alright? So the only way to get your downlines to do what they're supposed to do is for you to do it so passionately, so loudly, so aggressively, so consistently, alright, for a long time. So they are convinced. Because they are watching you. So you have the street cred, the credibility, alright, to speak to them about what they're supposed to do. Alright? Oh yeah, Brijesh, I owe you a call. I'll call you later tonight, Apu. Alright? And you understand? Okay? So, and I remember this. I remember every great leader I've met, whether it's Motas, Mohanad, Adli, Sati, Arun, David, okay, Dave Wadwani. I've seen these people. Alright? And I realize this, that they are not perfect. There's no perfection in network marketing. But they all walk the talk. And when you walk the talk, alright, it makes a big difference. And I always have this conversation with people like Kalai. Alright, it's so easy to build a powerful network if you're willing to walk the talk. Alright, that's stage one. Then you have to communicate it. Now the second part is where I say there's no consequence. Because you think about it. If you don't succeed in network marketing, nobody comes and punishes you or ridicules you, or like in school, when you get bad results, they stick it on the board and everyone can see your failure. You go home, your mother whacks you, all right, and tells you why you couldn't do as well as the neighbor's kid, or whatever it is, okay? There's no consequence. Because here you are an independent entrepreneur, right? Which has the greatest strength is that you control your destiny. The weakness is you will not have a sense of urgency to achieve that success because there's no consequence. Even today in the corporate world, there's no consequence. Alright? Because everyone talks about their rights, and even if they screw up, their excuse, they have very loving bosses like, some bosses. Are you guys with me now? So what happens is that there's no consequence. And when there's no consequence, people don't care. So why did you pass your exam? Most of us. We pass our exam because we know if we failed, there was a consequence. Whether letting down your parents, disappointing them, alright, or getting beaten up. That was it. Alright? I did reasonably okay in school. I just didn't want to disappoint my mother. She was a single mother working hard to support her sons. Why? There was fear of some kind of consequence, in a nutshell. Now, the problem is most people don't have a fear of consequence. And when you don't have a fear of consequence, you don't do what you're supposed to do. So the greatest challenge in network marketing, what's the consequence? Correct? Now, this is an art form. This is a skill I watched performed by Dato Sri Vijay. He would implement or instill in me a psychological fear of consequence. He would convince me beyond doubt that if I don't take this business seriously, if I don't build, I am going to end up broke. And he will define the definition of broke so painfully, so vividly, so clear, like 8K HD kind of thing, all right? And I would go back at night and I couldn't sleep. I said, oh my God, if I don't make it here, I'm going to be a loser on the street and I'm going to end up pissed drunk in a ditch somewhere. All right, that's how clear he described what would happen to me if I did not succeed. He described to me what would happen, all right, to my mom, the person I love the most, all right, to my future, to everyone that depended on me at that time, mainly my mom. You understand? All right, and he created this positive fear. I hope I'm making sense, Kalai. He created this positive fear of consequence. Now you have to have this ability to speak to your downlines, to speak to the people you're mentoring, and do the same thing Dato Sri Vijay did so beautifully to me. That is to paint the picture of what would happen to them, which is consequence, if they did not succeed in QNet. What would their life be? Because if you don't paint that picture, they have nothing to fear. All right? They said, so what if I succeed? So what if I fail? Who cares? Life goes on. Have you heard this stupid moronic statement? All right? Life is not only about chasing success. It's to enjoy every moment. These are the broke morons who will never make it in life. These are the hippies walking around town broke, right, living off government support. That's not how we were born. We were born to be champions. We were born to be victorious. We were born to reach our limitless potential, right? We are not that breed of people. We are this breed of people. So you have to paint the reality. So Dato Sri Vijay, one thing he was great at was to tell me the consequence of everything if I did well and if I did not do it well. He also planted this consequence of me being successful. He described what financial freedom was in such detail to me, from the point of going to a restaurant and buying whatever you want and giving your mom, and having the best Diwali for the first time of your journey of life. And he just painted such a beautiful Picasso of what life would be if I achieved financial freedom, that it gave me equally sleepless nights. That I went back and I told my mom, I want this. I want this so badly. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get this. You understand? And I think that's the only way for you to have some level of thought and feeling of consequence in your downlines. Because you can't punish them, right? You can't hammer them. You might lose them if you hammer too much. But if you have this skill Dato Sri Vijay has, which is an amazing skill, he would paint the picture of the truth of achieving success and not achieving success. Now, what do you want to do? And I'm not talking doing it in 2 minutes like on a TikTok reel. I'm talking about deep, powerful, meaningful conversation, all right, with your downlines, for them to understand the consequence of not succeeding, the consequence of remaining poor, the consequence of not being able to provide for your family. And also, you must be able to project the consequence of financial freedom, baby, and how life would be. And then you keep planting that seed consistently into your downlines to a point that they will never be able to sleep. They will never quit. They will never give up, because they know if they do, their life will suck for the rest of their lives. And if they succeed, life is beautiful. All right? And you have to have that skill of painting this picture to them. Because unlike a job where you can threaten to fire somebody, give them a bad rating or whatever, or punish them, all right? In network marketing, everyone is independent. The only thing that works is the power of influence, your power to sell, how great your salesmanship is, all right? And your success is the greatest, most powerful tool in network marketing. So if you want to get your downlines, your mentees, your staff, to do something that they're supposed to do, which they know they're supposed to do because they know it's good for them. Number one, lead by example, and real example. That means be consistent, be a psychotic fanatic on doing something that you expect others to do, number one. Number two is to paint the picture of consequence to them. And when you do that, hopefully they wake up. Because this journey is an amazing journey if you convince people to take it seriously. There's no shortcuts. There's nothing. Just pay the price and you will achieve success. And the same with VCon. Right? VCon is that platform that you need to be there to wake up, smell the coffee, to get the realization. Alright? So that's what I wanted to tell you guys on week 32. I love you guys all over the world. Alright, I can't wait to see you for VCon. I'm having goosebumps, butterflies in my stomach. I'm so freaking excited. I can't wait to share that stage with the V partners and the great ones, Japa and Dato Sri Vijay. This, I promise you, will be the greatest event in network marketing history. So I'll see you guys at VCon. Love you guys.